What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And today we're back at it to answer more questions from you guys in another For the Greater.
Sorry, I started late because all I had on my mind is armed robberies. We've committed a couple of those.
Yeah.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. If you enjoy our content and you guys want more, please support the channel with a super thanks. Those super thanks prevent us from making armed robberies this holiday season.
Yeah, because if you have hands, you got arms.
There you go. And this question comes from Socrates Plato. I explained
Did you? No, you did not.
So if you guys want to support the channel, give us a super thanks. With that super thanks, you could ask any question you want, and we will guaranteed answer it for you the next video or the next thing. If not, you could just give us a super thanks and say thank you for being there.
Yeah, thank you for not consulting armed robberies on me.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. And then that question comes from Socrates Plato. Plato asks, Tau are the good guys? Question mark. Are the Tau the good guys?
I don't know. When it comes to Warhammer 40K, I feel like there is no good or bad guys. They're all just superior beings at a higher intellect level than what we currently are.
Right, yeah.
Nah, they're not. They just want war.
Well, no, the Tau Empire doesn't want war, though, because they've showed time and time again that they will make alliances with the Kroot, the Nikasar, the
Vespid.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they want war, but out there. Mm-hmm. They want themselves to prosper, and they want the rest of the galaxy to be busy fighting each other so that they can advance to the point where these people have now exhausted all their resources. Now it's our turn to come in and bolster our resources.
Yeah, I think the ethereal cast really understands that usually the one that pulls the trigger gets the respect, but it's the one in front of the gun that lasts forever.
We learned that through armed robberies.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying, though. I think that for the most part, it's almost like the Imperium, kind of. Except that the Imperium is super paranoid, and they're like, no, like not only are we pushing all of this negativity out, but there's also negativity inside, which is what the enemy within is.
Right.
That's why the Inquisition exists, and that's why so many things in the Imperium are so, what's the word, where everybody's just kind of on edge?
Paranoid?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, paranoia.
Yeah.
And the greater good doesn't really have that because I think they just like stomp down on...
Yes.
Yeah.
They definitely come at you with a mask of positivity. They're always push and pee. But it's, like I said, it's a mask. There's something sinister behind there.
Right.
And Farsight kind of saw what that may be. And that's why he distanced himself from the Tau Empire. He made the Enclaves. And yeah, just because they don't necessarily blow up planets and take prisoners and stuff like that, them coming to a world and preaching their greater good philosophies, it does sound like they're there to better you, but no, it's to better themselves.
Right, yeah. They're trying their best, though.
Yeah.
Give them credit for that. And yeah.
Yeah, so would you say there is, or what's the closest thing to a good guy in 40K then?
Well, I think the Kroot, right? Like, I think the Kroot are kind of just like, we have our thing and we're trying our best. Like, we have to kill and eat our victims in order to progress. I think that's just our thing. There is no, it's biological. But then I guess you can make the argument that the orcs are the good guys too then.
Yeah, because they're not wanting to outright do bad things. That's just who they are.
Yeah, it's in their nature. Mm-hmm. But then the Necron, same thing, right? They're soulless.
Yeah.
So they're just there. I don't really know. There is no good guy then.
Exactly. There's only 50 shades of gray.
Yeah.
No good, no black, no white, just gray.
Maybe the old ones.
You think so?
I don't know why they wouldn't give the Necron tier the like that life thing.
Yeah, they had space cancer.
Yeah.
They could have just said, "Nah, I'm gonna help you guys."
Yeah, I don't know.
They did it. See, there is no good, there is no bad.
It's all gray. Good question. Next one.
This was by the Hawkeye 725. Do you guys think it would be cool to see a few renegade Marines and Sisters of Battle in the enclaves of Farsight?
I think so, yeah, because it goes back to that whole like Goivesa concept.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like once you become a Guevesa, you don't use the same armor and weaponry as the, I don't know, faction you were part of before.
Mm-hmm.
You're now fully integrated into the Tau, so you'll have Tau issued war gear and weaponry.
But that's also for the Tau Empire. He's talking about the Farside Enclaves. I think the Farside Enclaves would be more resourceful, right?
Yeah, they'd be more willing to adapt.
Because the Farside Enclaves are basically especially with the 8, they're the samurai, right? Like, what are they called?
Essentially, Ronin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're the 8 commanders, and they do things their own way. They go against the norms of Tau society. So yeah, if they do go ahead and have like Space Marines and Sisters of Battle join them, as weird and as divisive as that would be, I think that they'd have a pretty cool aesthetic to them. I don't know if you've seen the fan images of like Space Marines from the Tau and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool to see that.
Next question comes from Evangelium. Yu-Gi-Oh was mentioned, so I was summoned.
In attack position or face down in defense?
Face down in defense, always. He's a bottom. How do you weaponize a Catachan barking toad?
You really don't need to. They're pretty aggressive already, aren't they?
I can't remember what a barking toad is.
But if not, you just stick some dynamite in them and lug it at your opponent.
Now it sounds like a squig.
That's pretty much what it could be.
Next question.
This one is by Estachin666. What if Yarick fell to chaos and the leaked Astra Militarum page on him was all just inquisitorial propaganda?
It could be to spur on like the troops.
Right. I talked about this in a recent video. You guys can check out The Truth About the Demise of Yarick. And it basically talk about that whenever a hero of the Imperium dies, it's meant as a means to increase morale. You would think, oh no, the hero's dead, let me cry, let me give up. No, it's like, I'm going to fight harder because he put 110% into, fighting and benefiting the Imperium. So should we. That's how we honor him. So that's that's pretty much what happened, or at least what it seems, because it's very rare for a named character to just be off-screened.
Right.
Like, if they don't die in a novel, a campaign, something physical that you can legit read, chances are they're probably not dead.
Right.
Now, the other thing to this is, I don't think Yarick would fall to chaos. He's been pretty loyal to the Imperium. He's been fighting against Greenskins. Rumor has it that maybe he was fighting against Angron and the World Eaters, and that's how he fell, or how he died. But we just don't know for sure how he's dead. We just know that officially in Imperial records he is.
Yeah. Good question. And again, you have an entire video on it.
Yeah.
So check it out. It was released last week.
Right.
Yeah. This next question comes from Brian B. What is better, cold pizza or hot pizza? We talked about this a little bit before. Mm-hmm. So we've answered it before. We both said cold.
Yeah. I mean, we like it hot, but I mean, leftovers are good.
And it depends. Because we said, like, if it's deep dish, if it's Detroit style, yes, hot is better. But if it's just like regular Pizza Hut or like New York style, I guess, it's better cold.
Right. If it's thin crust, cold all the way. Yeah. If it's like some deep dish Giordano stuff, I prefer it to be hot.
Otherwise, you're just biting into really thick cheese.
Yeah, pretty much. This next one is by Sean10767. How does a Space Marine feel about killing one of their own, or a Marine from another chapter killing another chapter's Marines? For example, if one were to turn chaos, go rogue, or plainly just disagree or hate another.
Sorrow, followed by retribution. I think the Imperium's code when it comes to or not the Imperium, but the Space Marines code when it comes to that kind of stuff is that, like, you are angels of death for the Emperor. Mm-hmm. Your purpose is to kill the enemies of the Emperor. If your brother betrays his chapter, is there sorrow? Sure. But at the end of the day,
he's an enemy of the Imperium.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen this time and time before with, like, I don't know what I'm thinking, the Horus Heresy. Wow.
Yeah.
That literally put brother against brother, and people were forced to pick a side.
Right.
And it wasn't easy to see the person you were fighting shoulder to shoulder now is pointing the barrel of a bolter to you. So it's like they're brothers in arms, and unfortunately there's no other option but to take them out.
Right. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening and talking to us. And we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. As always, it's been the Sound Alchemist aquí con
Grish one.
and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first.